Hello everyone. This video is a part 2, continuation of previous video on osteokinematics.
Elevation.
Elevation is a movement that occurs when a bone or body part moves in a superior or upward direction. Example: scapular elevation. While doing shoulder shrug, scapula moves in upward direction. Depression. Depression is a movement that occurs when a bone or body part moves in an inferior or downward direction. Example: scapular depression, bringing scapula back to its anatomical position by moving it in downward direction following scapular elevation. Protraction. Protraction is a movement in which a body part or bone being moved forward on a plane parallel to the ground. Example: protraction of the scapula occurs when the shoulder is moved anterolaterally, as when pushing against something or throwing a ball. Retraction. Retraction is a movement in which the protracted portion of the body or bone being moved back to its anatomical position. Example: retraction of scapula occurs when the scapula being pulled posteriorly and medially toward the vertebral column. Radial deviation, when the hand moves laterally or towards the thumb side from its anatomical position, it is called as radial deviation. Ulnar deviation, when the hand moves medially or towards the little finger at wrist from its anatomical position, it is called as ulnar deviation. Supination. Supination is a rotational movement of the forearm that results in the palm of the hand faces superiorly in flexed elbow or anteriorly in anatomical position. Pronation. Pronation is a rotational movement of the forearm that results in the palm of the hand faces inferiorly in flexed elbow or posteriorly in anatomical position. In opposition is the thumb movement that brings the tip of the thumb or thumb pad in contact with the tip of any of the fingers of the same hand. Reposition can be referred as the movement of returning the thumb to its anatomical position next to the index finger. Lateral bending or lateral flexion. When the spine or trunk bends in sideways, it is termed as lateral bending or flexion. Lateral flexion or bending occurs in cervical spine and trunk. Rotation is a movement of a bone or part around its longitudinal axis. Example: cervical rotation, turning the head to the left or the right. Horizontal abduction. When the shoulder joint is flexed at 90 degrees and abducted, it is called as horizontal abduction. Horizontal adduction. If the shoulder joint is adducted from 90 degrees of flexion and abduction, it is called as horizontal adduction.